Hello everyone, my name is Devin, and I play bass, and I'm just okay at it. Today I'm going over the Line 6 Helix and some of the popular pedals that I've seen a lot of people want to achieve, yet is not on the Helix. Well, there are little workaround ways to get to it, and I was going to try to go over a few of those today. The first of being is going to be the Electro Harmonix bass micro synth, which is a very popular one with worship groups and anyone that wants a rocking hardcore bass sound with a lot of low end drive and grind and all that messy stuff inside. So today I'm going to go over what I think is going to be a pretty close approximation. I don't have the actual pedal to compare it to, but I do have ears, which that has helped me, and I think I got a few ways that I've kind of over the years have kind of figured out with the Helix and got comfortable with. So anyways, enough of this jibber jabber. I'm going to go ahead and show you something that's a little bit better and a little bit dapper. For this demo, I am using my Squier Jaguar Special. It's the short scale, and I do have it modified. I'm going to keep it in the P position, which is a DiMarzio Billy Sheehan Relentless pickup, which is a very awesome pickup. And I will just mostly keep on that and play little tunes for you. Okay, here we are, and I'm just going to kind of run over things real quick on the signal chain here. And I was going to say that this applies for both the Helix floor as well as probably the EHX Stomp as well, because all these things fit all right in this nice neat row here. So 3 things I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over the method of my madness for the Electro Harmonix micro bass synth. I'm going to go over a kind of a modified Rat with a little bit of extra boost in the low end. And then lastly, I'll go over a Aguilar tone hammer preamp, and this is kind of showing you what you can set up on your own. So on the signal chain here, I have the bass coming in here, and I am leading into the deluxe comp, and I actually have it mixed set very low at 22%, a 4-to-1 ratio, and I don't have it boosted too high. So I'll just give you a sound of what it sounds like with the P pick up here. So there is that, and then I'll just add in the compressor. It just adds a little bit of warmth to it. It makes my playing a little more even and to control some of the top end. Okay, so going from there, so I'll go over what everyone wants to watch, and that's my idea behind the Electro Harmonix, and I'll give you the settings here. So the first thing I'm going to run in here to is the Synth string, and I have the speed set very low, 0.6 hertz, the frequency set down to 6%, the attack all the way up, the pitch all the way down, mix set about 77%, and then the level just slightly boosted there, 4.8 decibels. The speaking is hard sometimes, so it's not my strong suit. Anyways, I have that, and even this on its own, I felt like it gets somewhat close. Let me know what you think. Yeah, it's all right. And then the next thing in the chain here is I split it off here, and I just do an A-B even split. And the next thing I go into is the ballistic fuzz, which I guess is more of an Electro Harmonix inspired fuzz. To me, in my ears, this sounded more Electro Harmonix than some of the other fuzzes that were on the models there. And this sounded more true to my ears. So here is this next. Crunchy. The next thing up is that I'm adding a filter behind it. So it's the auto filter in a low pass mode. And here's the settings for this. And I'll just have you look over that. But I don't have it up mixed in very much. I wanted it because a lot of people will set their filters low on that. So my idea was to, if you wanted more of a filter thing happening, you raise and, your attack and decay. But in my case, I just left it low. So I'll have this here. That's cool. And then lastly, to sum everything up, so you could leave it just right there, but for me, I just use my ears to EQ it in the end here, and this to me, I felt like was important. So you want to control some of those lows on there, so I did shelve the 31.25 hertz there, down 9.7 dB, boosted some of the 125 hertz there. I felt like it could compensate with a little bit more rounded low end there. A little bit of a scoop there, but I wanted to raise up some of these higher mid frequencies here around the 1 and 2K, even the 4K. I wanted this more of a mid-range to pop through, and that's what I felt like this was missing from the Electro-Harmonics every time I listen to a video, is that it was missing that bit of sound, and then rolled off the high end there so I can be a more mid-heavy thing. And so here is this all balanced together, and this is my whole Electro-Harmonics to my ears patch. Cool. So there is that. So there is my Electro-Harmonics Space Synth. And then the next thing, so I'm going to turn that off, and I am actually going to put on just the rat that I have set up here. And it's just the Ratitude distortion. Got more of a higher gain one, filter down a bit, and then level all the way up. It's blended, again, an even split. And then lastly, I'm just running back into the graphic EQ here. All I have here really is just boosting a little bit of the low end. I feel like if you added too much low end to it, it makes it more muddy. So that's something I did not want. So I just made it a little more even. So let me know what you think. Yeah, that can rip your ears off, and it can be a little loud. I would probably, next time I'm going to test the gains here and check that level on there. All right, and then last thing on the list here is I have the Angular Tone Hammer or Augo Sledge. It's basically just using the preamp section there of the Aqua Sledge Tone Hammer. And then here are some of the settings. I just did this on my own, just came up with the settings on my own. I have the gain lowered, but I have the drive accelerated to get that kind of nice crunch sound. Pretty much even EQ across the way, at least as, from what I could tell, this is the way I wanted it. And then I'm mastering down a little bit. So, and then the mid frequency, I have it set here. This was probably the more important thing, 7.8, because I wanted those nice good amount of higher mids to come through. And this is what it sounds like. Actually, I should give you some dry for reference. So here's the dry tone with just the compressor on. And then back on. Okay, and there you have it. So that's my interpretation of the Electro Harmonics bass synths, micro bass synths, as well as a nice modded bassy rat, as well as the Angular tone hammer. Let me know what you think, and you can try it on your own, experiment around. I probably could have EQ'd things a little bit differently, but to my ears, I think they sound pretty close, even though I don't even really own these things other than the rat. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed. Have a good day.